brother. Clarify.
Okay, he put her brother on the phone.
Somebody on the phone related to this family, a McCaffrey. She blocked me. What? No. Caitlin Clark has blocked me and is now not responding to me.
That ain't me.
Since, yes, it is.
How is it me?
You put the phone in front of me. I didn't even know who it was. I'm like, who is this? Because they're mad about Fran McCaffrey.
Wow.
You cost me a Caitlin Clark relationship.
Yeah, you got to cut him off. Homie, look. Who needs...
That face right there tells you everything you need to know. Dave Portnoy just found out he's been blocked by Caitlin Clark. Not unfollowed, blocked. And this is a guy who's been attending Fever games in person, defending her against league critics, building what he thought was a genuine friendship with the biggest star in women's basketball. So what happened? How do you go from courtside at Iowa games to completely cut off in a matter of days?
Did at dinner?
Yeah, well, it's all because Fran McCaffrey got ran out of town.
But then he put a McCaffrey in front of me on a cell phone. I didn't know who I was talking about. And he's like, I don't like what you guys have been saying about my dad. I'm like, who am I even talking to?
Hey.
And then it went viral.
We also didn't say anything about Fran McCaffrey.
Nothing. So this is because her boyfriend, Connor McCaffrey's dad, Fran, was fired and ran out of town by Iowa. And apparently, these dudes was talking greasy, and Dave Portnoy is caught in the crossfires. And
here's where this gets complicated. This isn't about something Dave said directly about Caitlin. This is about Fran McCaffrey, the Iowa men's basketball coach who was fired in April 2024 after 17 years. And Fran McCaffrey happens to be the father of Connor McCaffrey, Caitlin Clark's boyfriend. During a dinner in Indianapolis, someone at Dave's table put Connor's brother on speakerphone, and suddenly Dave's in the middle of a family dispute about Iowa's coaching decision. He didn't even know who he was talking to at first. The McCaffrey family was upset about comments made on Barstool shows regarding the coaching change. Dave claims Barstool never went hard on Fran McCaffrey, but something said during their Iowa basketball coverage crossed a line with the family. And when you're dating the most famous women's basketball player in the world, your family's grievances become her problem.
See what he did at dinner?
Yeah, well, it's all because Fran McCaffrey got ran out of town.
But then he put a McCaffrey in front of me on a cell phone. I didn't know who I was talking about. And he's like, I don't like what you guys have been saying about my dad. I'm like, who am I even talking to?
Hey.
And then it went viral.
We also didn't say anything about Fran McCaffrey.
Nothing.
It wasn't for him.
oh, that went viral? Oh, I never saw that clip. I never saw that.
Right. Talking about Ben McCollum being grass ain't greener. You know, you ran Fran McCaffrey out of town after 17 years.
You gave me a duplicate Caitlin Clark jersey last year.
Now look at Dave's reaction when he realizes this went viral. He's genuinely confused because from his perspective, Barstool's Iowa coverage was relatively tame. They talked about Ben McCollum being hired as the new coach, maybe mentioned the grass isn't always greener when you fire a 17-year veteran. Standard sports talk. But here's what Dave's missing. It's not about what was said, it's about who's listening. Connor McCaffrey spent 5 years playing basketball at Iowa while his dad coached the team. That's his father's legacy being discussed on a national platform. And when your girlfriend has 20 million followers and unprecedented media attention, every comment about your family gets amplified. Caitlin probably saw the clip. Connor expressed how uncomfortable it made him, and she made a choice: relationship over media friendship.
What Dave Portnoy had to say in terms of this whole beef he now has with Caitlin Clark. This is wild.
This is it a couple minutes before the show that I had what I thought is a bomb, and it's directly related to Bosco.
Really?
And he said, how mad are you? And I said, on a scale of 10, I think I'm an 11 or a 12. Like, I'm really mad.
So and he wouldn't tell me the bomb. I asked him
said what it is.
Over. I was like, do you want to tell me now? He's like, no, I want to surprise you.
So, and this is the truth. We're in Indianapolis. There's a WNBA team that plays here.
Let's talk about what Dave lost here, because this wasn't just a casual celebrity connection. He was working this relationship strategically. He went to Iowa to watch her play LSU during her college career. He attended multiple Fever games during her rookie season. He publicly defended her when WNBA veterans were taking shots at her success. He called out the league office for mishandling her star power. This was a cultivated media relationship that had real value for both sides. Dave was planning to do pizza reviews with Caitlyn in Indianapolis. That's content gold for Barstool Sports. Caitlyn gets exposure to Barstool's massive male audience, which is exactly the demographic the WNBA desperately needs. It's a win-win situation. Or it was, until someone put a phone in Dave's face at dinner and everything imploded.
Blocked everywhere.
She blocked
everywhere.
She blocked.
Yeah.
It was non-stop communication, and now it's blocked. Blocked.
So this needs
That's
to get
crazy.
Wait, what's
That's crazy, boss.
I don't know how you have not been my boss, but now I'm going to ask on behalf of the employees
Damn, Dave, you got put up on that block list.
here. How do you work in terms of deadline? When does he have to resurrect this fight?
It's never gonna.
I don't know that he has that pull.
No, he doesn't.
I worked on this relationship when you want to talk about working relationship. I was going to watch her play LSU, Iowa in college.
Watch how quickly Dave turns on the guy who set this up. He's calling for him to be fired on air, and you can understand why. Dave spent months building this connection, attending games, creating content that drove attention to the WNBA. He became one of the league's most visible mainstream media supporters. Then someone at his own company creates a situation that costs him his #1 athlete relationship. But here's the deeper issue. This reveals how carefully managed Caitlyn's public image has become. She's not just blocking Dave personally. She's making a statement about boundaries, about what happens when media personalities cross lines with her personal life. And she's doing it decisively, without explanation or negotiation. The text messages turn green. No response. Complete cutoff.
I DM'd her. No response. She always responds. You cost me my #1 relationship.
Are you kidding me?
I will get that back. No, you won't.
You will?
I'll work on it.
He said, you cost me my #1 relationship, and I believe him. I believe him. Yo, that dude, whoever that dude is on stage, should be thrown off stage. Y'all need some fisticuffs with him. This is wild work.
Because did you see what? Did you see what he did at dinner?
Yeah, well, it's all because Fran McCaffrey got ran out of town.
Now think about this from Caitlyn's perspective. She's 22 years old, finishing her rookie WNBA season after the most scrutinized college basketball career in women's sports history. Every interview gets analyzed, every social media post gets dissected, every relationship gets questioned. She's dealing with veterans who resent her success, media members trying to create controversy, and fans with impossibly high expectations. Then her boyfriend's family gets dragged into sports talk commentary about his father losing his job. That's not basketball analysis. That's personal. And when you're Caitlyn Clark, you can't afford to have media personalities you're friendly with discussing your boyfriend's family situation on national platforms. It creates awkwardness, it creates tension. So she eliminated the problem immediately. The speed of the block is what's striking. Dave says they stay in touch, and she always responds. Past tense, that relationship ended the moment the McCaffrey family expressed discomfort. No warning, no conversation, just done.
And next thing I know, I'm trashing like the boyfriend's coach and dad. And now she blocked me.
You know what you got to do now? Become an Angel Reese guy. You got it. Full villain. You got it.
Don't do the whole heel turn, Dave. Because of Rico. Give let's give Rico a window of time to
It's the first I'm hearing.
Will you be at the McCaffreys?
What just happened?
You're close with the McCaffreys. Will you be at that wedding?
Best friends with them. They're not engaged yet.
But will you be at the wedding?
I would hope so.
So you're allowed to go to that wedding and Coach
way
Willard can't make a mind? You can go to that wedding and Coach Willard can't sing
No way.
all night long.
I think it's a guy. Yeah.
Well, let's get the abs out of the way because as whale, we don't want to have abs.
Damn, man. Dave Portnoy done got cut off, man. He done got cut off by Caitlyn Clark. Ain't that some... That's a bad relationship.
Dave's joking about becoming an Angel Reese fan now, but you can hear the genuine frustration. He's asking if he'll still be invited to the wedding when Caitlyn and Connor get married. He's trying to figure out if this is permanent or if there's a path back. And his co-hosts are telling him straight up, you're not getting that relationship back. Not after a public block, not after this became a story. Because here's what happens next. Every time Dave mentions Caitlyn Clark now, people will reference the block. Every time Barstool covers the fever, there's context about why they're on the outside. Dave went from insider access to cautionary tale about how quickly athlete relationships can disintegrate. And the guy who caused this, he needs to be cut off completely, according to Dave's co-hosts. When you cost someone their connection to the biggest star in women's basketball, that's not a minor mistake. That's a career-altering error in judgment.
To lose. I got to be all the way honest. That is not a relationship you want to lose. It appears Dave Portnoy has been cut off by the GOAT all over something that I don't know. I got to see this clip. It may be over something that has absolutely nothing to do with him. Connor was probably like, hey, you got to cut that off. I ain't playing games. Hey, she cut Dave off with the quickness. That is crazy. Get down in the comments. Let me.
Here's what makes this situation particularly significant for the WNBA. Dave Portnoy has 14 million followers across social media platforms. Barstool Sports reaches a predominantly male audience aged 18 to 34, exactly the demographic women's basketball struggles to attract. When Dave posts about attending Fever games or defends Caitlyn against critics, that content reaches millions of potential new fans who might never otherwise engage with the WNBA. The league should want more Dave Portnoys, more mainstream media figures with massive platforms driving attention to their product, more male sports personalities telling their audiences that women's basketball is worth watching. But this incident reveals the tension between media access and personal boundaries. Between building your brand and protecting your private life, Caitlyn chose privacy. She chose her relationship over a media connection that had tangible professional value, and she made that choice instantly, without hesitation. That tells you something about her priorities as she navigates unprecedented fame in women's sports. Think about the calculus she's making. Dave Portnoy can drive millions of views to content featuring her. He can influence how his massive audience perceives her and the WNBA. He's been a consistent defender when other media members question her impact or criticize her game. But none of that matters if he's associated with commentary that upsets her boyfriend's family. The personal relationship wins every time. Now consider what this means for other media personalities trying to build connections with WNBA stars. There are invisible lines you can't cross. Family situations are off limits. Personal relationships are protected territory. And if you're part of an organization that crosses those lines, even unintentionally, you're getting cut off. No second chances, no explanations, just blocked. Dave keeps emphasizing that Barstool didn't say anything particularly harsh about Fran McCaffrey, and he's probably right. But it doesn't matter what was actually said. It matters how the McCaffrey family received it. It matters that Connor was uncomfortable. And it matters that Caitlyn decided her boyfriend's comfort was more important than maintaining a beneficial media relationship. This is the reality of covering athletes who are also in high-profile relationships. You're not just managing your relationship with the athlete, you're managing relationships with their entire circle: partners, family members, agents, team staff. One misstep with anyone in that circle can cost you access to the athlete, regardless of your history or how much you've supported them publicly. Watch how Dave processes this on air. He's genuinely hurt. This wasn't just a business relationship for him. He attended Iowa games as a fan before Caitlyn was a WNBA player. He defended her against criticism from league veterans. He used his platform to call out the WNBA for mishandling their biggest star. And his reward is getting blocked over something he didn't even say, in a conversation he didn't initiate, about a topic he barely covered. The guy who put Connor's brother on the phone at that dinner created a situation where Dave had no good options. He's on speakerphone, suddenly in a conversation with someone from Caitlyn's boyfriend's family, being confronted about Barstool's Iowa coverage. What's he supposed to do? Hang up? That's disrespectful. Defend the coverage? That escalates the situation. Try to smooth it over? Too late, it's already awkward, and apparently it went viral. So now Dave's locked out. His texts go green instead of blue, meaning she didn't just unfollow him on social media. She blocked his phone number. That's a level of cutoff that's personal. That's not, I need some space. That's, I don't want to hear from you again. And here's the question that matters. Was breaking that relationship worth whatever was said about Fran McCaffrey on Barstool shows? Because from a pure business perspective, having access to Caitlyn Clark is worth more to Barstool than any commentary about Iowa men's basketball coaching changes. The pizza review content alone would have generated millions of views. The ongoing connection to the WNBA's biggest star would have created opportunities for years. But media companies can't always control every personality on every show. Someone makes an offhand comment about a coaching change, it gets clipped, it reaches the wrong people. and suddenly a valuable relationship is destroyed. That's the risk of operating in an environment where everything is recorded, everything is clipped, and everything can go viral. For Caitlyn, this is probably a minor situation that she resolved quickly and won't think about again. She made a decision that protected her relationship and her boyfriend's family. Done. Move on. But for Dave and Barstool, they lost access to the most marketable athlete in women's sports over something tangential to their core coverage. The irony is that Dave was one of the good guys in terms of WNBA coverage. He wasn't creating controversy for clicks. He wasn't questioning whether women's basketball deserved attention. He was genuinely supporting the league and its biggest star. And he still got cut off because someone in his orbit crossed a line with her boyfriend's family. So what's the lesson here? If you're a media personality trying to build relationships with WNBA players, understand that those relationships are fragile. Understand that personal life is completely off limits. Understand that what seems like innocent sports commentary to you might feel like an attack to their family members. And understand that these athletes will choose their personal relationships over media friendships every single time, regardless of how much you've supported them publicly. Dave will be fine. Barstool will find other athletes to feature. But this situation perfectly illustrates the complexity of covering women's sports in an era where the athletes have unprecedented control over their media access and public image. Caitlin Clark doesn't need Dave Portnoy. She has 20 million followers, a Nike deal, and she's the biggest star in the WNBA without any help from Barstool Sports. So when a situation becomes uncomfortable, she can just eliminate it. Block, done. Next. The real question is whether this approach helps or hurts the WNBA long-term.
Because the league desperately needs mainstream media attention from personalities who can reach male audiences. Dave Portnoy was providing that for free out of genuine interest in Caitlyn's success. And now, he's locked out, probably forever. How many other media personalities are watching this situation and deciding it's not worth the risk to get too close to WNBA players? How many potential supporters are thinking twice about investing time and energy into relationships that can evaporate over something they didn't even directly say? Those are uncomfortable questions the league needs to consider as it tries to build sustainable mainstream media coverage. Because if supporting WNBA players means walking through a minefield where one wrong step gets you permanently blocked, a lot of media personalities are going to decide it's easier to just cover the NBA instead.